What up, Hope Biscuits? It's your girl Skitten, back at it again. So you guys remember how last week I was all, oh my god, I hate the beads. I can't stand the beads, they're driving me crazy. As you guys can probably tell, they're still here because I haven't yet figured out how to get the beads off without cutting my braids. So I texted my braid girl about it. Hopefully she'll get back to me soon and I will be, you know, both a braided beauty but bead free, you know? I think my sanity, you know, is hanging on. It's hanging on by a thread. And if she doesn't respond, I guess I'll just, I don't know, cut them, even though I really don't want to. But just know that soon the days of me clickety-clack-clacking are over, okay? I'm gonna be silent, like a ninja. I don't even have my nails anymore, so I can't even like click those. So I really will. It's gonna be like being stalked by a panther, okay? I'm very excited about it. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe and sanitized. Today, we are here to watch some extra mythology. It's been a minute since I visited this channel, so I'm actually pretty excited. I really do enjoy the animation and the storytelling from extra credits. The title of this video is Sedna, the Inuit Mother of the Deep. It's been in my watch later list for quite some time, and I don't know how I just kept overlooking it, but something about the thumbnail just really caught my eye today, and I was like, you know what? I will treat myself, treat yourself, and treat y'all to this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Myths are not stories that are untrue. Rather, they are tales that don't fit neatly into the historical record, which serve as a foundation to a culture.
Okay, I like that definition.
Deep in the ocean, below the snow and thick ice, hidden in the frigid depths, lives a being both feared and revered, the goddess Sedna. Her temper is fierce, but when she's appeased, her gifts are not only generous, but life-giving. However, she was not always so powerful. In fact, her story began when she was a mortal woman, blissfully ignorant of what was to come.
Okay.
Thanks so much to CuriosityStream for helping us tell today's tale. Within an igloo in the frozen Arctic, where a father and his daughter sit down to a dinner of bannock bread and polar bear stew, familial tensions begin to fester.
Okay.
You see, the daughter, Sedna, had come of age, and many suitors sought her hand in marriage. But in a classic mythology move, she refused to marry any of them.
Because they were all ugly and poor and wouldn't slap Chris Rock for making fun of her on stage. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Now some say this was because she was lazy. I mean, why move out and start her own family when her father provided her with everything she needed, right?
True facts.
Others say she was such a skilled huntress that she felt she didn't need a husband to take care of her.
Also,
or maybe simply no man was
true
good enough
facts.
for her. But no matter the reason,
Or she was lesbians. She could have been lesbian. I like that explanation better.
to take care of her. Or maybe simply no man was good enough for her. But no matter the reason, her father was pretty anxious to get her out of the
He
house.
said, "Get the fuck
Little
out,
did he
huh?"
know how great the consequences of that impulse would turn out to be. That very night, a violent blizzard swept in. And just as the family was finishing their meal, a very handsome stranger appeared at their igloo seeking shelter. A necklace with 2 canine teeth hung from his neck, and he was very charismatic and charming.
Suspicious.
So Sedna and her father welcomed the man in, and he weathered the storm with them that night. But the next morning, when the sun rose and the blizzard had passed, the man had vanished. The only trace left was a set of paw prints in the snow outside.
Oh.
Seeing this, Sedna's father realized that his lead sled dog must have transformed himself into a man to trick them and seek shelter from the storm,
how did you
which
come
I
to
was
this
unaware sled
conclusion?
dogs could do,
Right.
but apparently seemed pretty normal to Pops.
Okay.
And at first he figured no harm, no foul. But when a few months later, Sedna began showing signs that she was pregnant, he was furious. I mean, what would everyone think of him when he was the grandfather of puppies or whatever monstrous children she might bear? So, in the first of a few cold-hearted moves, he took Sedna out to a remote island and abandoned her on its frozen shores.
Bitch!
But
You my daddy. What? I'm just... What?
she wasn't all alone out there. The loyal sled dog, this time keeping his true form, cared for her by swimming out with tender meat to sustain her with. Until
Also, unclear. Was this consensual? Are we just not gonna address this?
one day, she gave birth to 6 children,
6?
3 of which were human, and 3 that had dog-like ears and noses.
Puppies.
And while she loved all of her children, she knew that those with the more dog-like features could never have a good life with her people.
Okay.
So, she sewed a boat out of seal skins, placed her 3 dog children in it, and pushed it into the water toward the south.
Girl!
And some say from those 3 children, the European and First Nations people were descended.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile,
okay.
Sedna and her remaining children lived on the island for some time, with the good boys still swimming out to bring them food as needed. That is, until Sedna's father finally took pity on her and the remaining children and paddled back out to the island, intent on bringing them home.
Nah, keep that same energy, Pops. Keep that same energy, Dad. Leave me here like you been leaving me here. What the fuck?
Okay, Dad. Better late than never, I suppose.
No.
She bundled up her children, boarded her father's boat, and shoved off toward her old home.
I guess.
But just as the island vanished from their sight, a great storm ripped through the ocean.
Ooh.
Lightning flashed, thunder boomed, torrents of rain fell in sheets, and massive waves rocked the boat so violently it was sure to capsize any minute. And it was in this maelstrom that Sedna's father showed his true colors once more. Desperate to save himself and lessen the weight on the craft, he threw Sedna overboard. She managed to cling to the side of the boat for dear life, but that was only until her father threw away any chance at a redemption arc. In a panic, he drew his knife and cut off her fingers, joint by joint, until Sedna could no longer hold on and slid into the sea. But as she sank deeper and deeper, the water changing from gray to blue and blue to black, something miraculous happened. Sedna began to transform, her legs fusing together, becoming a fishtail. And then, as she passed from the mortal realm into the underworld, the smallest joints of her dismembered fingers turned into the first fish. The larger joints became the seals and walruses, and the very largest became the whales.
Oh.
She was no longer Sedna the young woman, but Sedna the goddess of the underworld, mother of sea creatures.
Well, that's fucking
To this
cool.
day, Sedna remains in her deep sea realm, controlling all of the animals who live there. But she always keeps a keen eye on the surface dwellers as well. For instance, when humans disrespect the ocean by overfishing or polluting the water with trash, she withholds her bounty from humanity by tangling all of the sea creatures in her hair, causing famine and suffering.
Okay.
But it's said she can be soothed. Many songs are sung to her at the beginning of each new hunting season, and offerings are made in her honor. But when things get really bad, a shaman can enter a trance-like state and visit Sedna in the spirit
I
realm.
like that she's in
There,
his
he'll
face.
listen to her as she describes how she's been wronged by humans and soothe her by combing out her hair, releasing the animals. And this is one of her greatest comforts, for as powerful as she is, she can no longer comb her own hair.
Aww.
Now, several versions of Sedna's story exist across Inuit cultures, passed down from generation to generation. And it makes sense even today. Since it's so expensive to ship food to the Arctic, many Inuit families rely at least partially on hunting and fishing to sustain themselves.
Absolutely.
So making sure Sedna, and in turn the ocean, is cared for, is a top priority. And this myth, while also providing an origin story for many sea mammals, also gives a face to the bountiful sea. And once this primordial force has an identity, humans are more easily able to relate and remember that nature requires not just respect, but also care and attention.
But care.
So while it's heartbreaking that Sedna was made to sacrifice her hands to gain the power to sustain humanity, it should also embolden us all to make sure we're as good as we can be to our oceans and our planet. Because the Earth is quite literally the reason we're able to tell myths in the first place. But you know, another big reason we've all gotten to enjoy the retellings of mythological tales around our campfire has been due to our fantastic writer for this show, Jack. And in some bittersweet news, they've decided to move on from EC, taking a new job at the CDC helping with the vaccine rollout, then going back to school to study environmental GIS in the fall.
Well, bye,
and I think I
Jack.
speak for everyone on the crew when I say
That's
that
so
while I'm
great.
sad to see them go, I couldn't be prouder of them, and I can't wait to see what new ways they make this world a
That's
better place.
spectacular.
Thanks so much for all the stories, Jack. Good journey.
How are you going to tell me this story and not, I need detail. What happened to her puppy babies? What happened to her human babies? Did her daddy get the swift kick in the nuts that he deserved? Like, you can't tell me half the story. Like, yeah, cool, she becomes a goddess. That's fun, that's cool, that's what she deserves. But I need to see vengeance. I'm gonna look it up myself. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something, maybe gained a newfound appreciation, okay, for the ocean and the earth itself. Congratulations to Jack from Extra Credits. Don't forget to leave your reaction requests and recommendations down in the comments below. And other than that, peace out, Ho Biscuits. It's Skittin' Lit.